November 7th, this Saturday, marks the death of a significant artist in our community.
Varaz Samuelian was born in Armenia. His parents survived the genocide. He had an interesting life. He studied art in Paris, was a prisoner of war in World War II, but he left his mark locally and around the world after he moved to Fresno in the late 50s. And now, 2 decades after his death, a fitting tribute at his final place of rest. This marks the beginning of the end of a story 20 years in the making.
I get it, sir.
The story of a man who contributed to our local community and gave generously around the world. Varaz Samuelian, writer, artist, sculptor, soldier, patriot. He was born in Van, Armenia in 1917. He died in Fresno in 1995. And on this day, for the first time nearly 20 years later, he has a headstone. His estate was supposed to install one, but never did.
At least get a little recognition here, finally, for this gentleman.
Varaz Samuelian was a slight man with big energy and creativity. His artwork, much of it a tribute to his Armenian roots, graces Fresno's Courthouse Park and Saroyan Theater. His neighbor of 50 years, 95-year-old Bob Demergadician, shot this video of Samuelian 1 year before he died to document the man who gave so much.
He was the most creative and talented person I know. He worked in steel, in concrete, wood, paper.
He liked to do big pieces, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Bob says he would visit Samuelian at his studio and museum across from Fresno Community Hospital, the building now long gone. Samuelian was a sign painter by trade, but expressed himself in his abstract works and larger-than-life sculptures, like this bust of Abraham Lincoln he presented to the country of Colombia.
When he was building it, he came to the ears of the bust, and he couldn't figure it out. He said, "Stand still, I want to copy your ears." So he made the ears according to mine.
He did all of the work on his most recognized local piece, the statue of Armenian folk hero David of Sassoon, all except for the placement of one symbolic stone, hand set by his good friend, author William Saroyan.
He loved everything that was Armenian food, dancing. He used to dance. He liked the stories. He liked singing.
Samuelian's legacy spans the globe. This community arts center in the town of Arctic in northwest Armenia was funded with a $500,000 bequest left by Samuelian at the time of his death. His works line the walls. It was on our trip to Armenia in April that we learned Samuelian was buried in an unmarked grave.
Varaz Samuelian does not apparently have a memorial stone or stone cross on his grave.
And the community center in Armenia was trying to raise the money to buy one.
And we so appreciate their concern because it reminded us that we needed to honor him again here in Fresno.
Donors in Fresno raised the money to mark the spot where Samuelian was laid to rest next to his wife, a tribute to a man long overdue.
I'm thinking it's way past due. It should have been done a long time ago.
So he's just a part of Fresno history, and I'm very, very happy that his gravestone has finally been put down, and in a way, it does close the story.
It's marking the final resting place of a generous man who left an even bigger mark in the place where he was born and in the place where he died. Varaz Samuelian is buried in the Masis Armenian Cemetery in Fresno. Donors collected the money to pay for the headstone, which was made by Kasasha marble and granite, and then the cemetery board covered all of the installation costs. The community center in Armenia has been notified that Varaz Samuelian now, finally, 20 years after his death, does have a headstone.
This has been a story that you've been following for obviously a long time. You were in Armenia when you learned about this, as you mentioned in the story, and I know that his impact is felt so big over there that it's only fitting that really people here pay him the attention he deserves.
Absolutely, and that's why I think it's just so wonderful that finally he has his mark in the cemetery. Folks can go and see this beautiful headstone that has the image of his David of Sassoon. So it's just a wonderful ending, I think, to that story.
And what a talent. Me not knowing very much about him.
Oh,
incredible talent.
Very gifted artist.
Yeah, incredible. Great story, Stephanie. Thank you
you
very much. Still to come,